Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to our world. This is the world of Wayne, and this is the last time we're going to have a video this week because tomorrow I'm heading off to the airport, flying off to Louisville in Kentucky for WonderFest. I'm not going to be back until probably Wednesday next week. So I'm sorry there's not many videos on the channel, but there will be a big video on the Agora Models channel on Wednesday. Be sure to tune in for that, and I have put a link to that in the video description. Also, I think there's a link up here that would have clicked on as well. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be doing my usual competition room at WonderFest. That will be up probably the early hours of Sunday morning because of the 5-hour time difference. So I needed something special to do today. So I thought, let's do a new build today. This is a commission build for the same guy that I'm doing the Red Bull for. This is the Michael Schumacher 2000 F1 Ferrari racing car. That was an introduction, wasn't it? Just looking at this, these are some prints. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the prints first. This is what comes in pack 1 or 2. I think I've actually got 3 packs here, but I'm only going to do 1 pack today because I am very limited on time, as you can probably imagine. I'm packing at the moment. We got this one here as well. I do like these prints, I have to say. And then we've got this one here as well. Perfect. Okay. So in pack 1, we do get 2 stages to do, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Once again, all my links are down here. They're also in the video description as well. Without further ado, though, new build day, let's get cracking. Okay, so this is kind of like the brochure, so you can see exactly what we're building. Now, I am aware that we have got this reflection in here. Perhaps if I go like that, and this opens out, showing the full car that we're doing. Obviously it's 1/8 scale. We do have the measurements here: 21.6 centimeters wide, 56.1 centimeters in length there. And I do like these F1 cars, I have to say. They are pretty cool. There is some free gifts that come with this as well. I do like the Ferrari cap. I think I've had one of them before, actually. I'm not sure. Obviously the prints, and we do get a 143 scale. That's 124 scale. There we go. Die-cast collector car there as well. So that's that. And then let's start with stage 1. So in stage 1, here's the magazine. Loads about Schumacher and the Ferrari car. And the first thing we're going to be doing is the front spoiler. We're going to be breaking this, or building this up all together. Breaking this, that's typical for the World of Wayne channel. We're building this. And obviously they do provide its own screwdriver here, but I am going to be using my own screwdriver for this. And we're just going to be putting together this front spoiler like that. So that's how it's looking. And this is what the stage 1 parts look like. So let's get these all open. As I said, we do have a screwdriver provided for us here, but I won't be using that. What I am going to do is put these 2 sides of the spoiler together here. And this is just a case of actually just putting them on top of each other, just like this. Now I'm just lining up the center hole. So that's lining everything up perfectly there. And I'm just pushing all the lugs in together. And that is actually what holds that together. I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the next part up. Difference being for this, just so you know, this part here is metal. This part here is all plastic. So it is a mixture of metal and plastic, this build. So again, just pushing these 2 parts together. Now with the metal side that we've got here, we're going to be putting some side pivots on, and they look like this. This is metal as well. And basically all we're going to do is put the lug on this side into this point just there. And it does mean that I'm going to need to put a screw in to keep that into place. And for that we're using NM screws. It ends in an M, that means we're going into metal. Now I'm actually using my PH00 screwdriver here, not my PHO. Because these are really tiny screws. So when that's lined up, what I can do is just screw this screw in here. And we are going into metal, so we can make it quite tight, as you can see. Excellent, that's one side in perfectly. Now I'm going to be doing the same with the top piece. This one isn't being screwed in though. It's basically that screw just in the side there, which is holding both in. And this next layer is going on just here. Once that's in, it does mean that I can now put the other side in over this side. I think the easiest way to do this is to actually before we put that part on there is to actually put this part on as well on this side. But when I put the screw into this side, I'm only going to screw it in very, very gently, just enough to hold that into place, so I have got some maneuverability to get this in here. As you can see, that's in. So now I can tighten the screw here. And now that's ensured that that's all in together. Quite a heavy piece actually. Now interestingly, we've got these MP screws here. And I want the MP screws to actually go in between the logo just here. There's actually a little hole to hold these ones in as well. So on this side. This is going into plastic because it ends in the P. Just put one in the other side, exactly the same place, just on this side here. Perfect. There we go, that's into place. Nice. Okay, so I now need to lay these lower panels just either side like this. This is how they're going to go. Now I do believe they are labelled left and right. They are. It's a very tiny letter, but there is a letter on there that says L. And these are actually going to be going into the lugs just at the bottom here. So I'm going to line them all up and push these into place. They are quite a tight fit. But as you can see, that's how they look when they go in. Let's do the same on the other side. And there we go. That's the other side on. Excellent. All that's left to do then is to put these side fins on, and again there is some lugs to push in here. We can just push that in here, so one that side and one this side. Now the flap height adjusters are these little black squares we've got here, and I need to get me tweezers out here, put some double-sided sticky tape on these. Peel off the backing, and then these are going to go into the square indents we've got on this side. So let me just put one in here. I'll give you an example of how they go in. So they look like that when they're in. I'll do the same on the other side. It is worth noting there is actually a way that they go in, so they go in that direction there. But that's both of those done, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage of pack 1, stage 2, that makes sense. Here's the magazine, looking like this. And as you see, we've got the nose here. So we're going to be putting this together just like this. It looks like we do get to attach that spoiler as well. So pretty impactful start to this build. Here is what that nose section looks like. Let's get this open. And this time I've just emptied everything onto my workstation. Now this again is solid metal. Okay, right, first thing to do, let's turn this upside down so this looks like that. And I'm going to be putting this into place over the top. So this actually fits in here just like this. And what I'm going to do is be lining up the holes here, because I'm guessing I'm going to be putting some screws in there. I am. They're CM screws. It's going to hold this together. And for these, I can use my usual PH1 screwdriver. And a little bit of oil just to help drive these screws in. Now, this is held in with 3 CM screws. And that looks good. I do like the detailing on this. Okay. Now on these ends here, we've got these little supports to go in. Now, they basically push in on each side, but they are labelled, I believe. So one goes in that side, that's the right one. So if that one is the right one, then that means that this goes in that side here. And then the left one will be going into this side over here. Just like that. The reason we put these in is because these are actually going to be going onto this section here. So what's going to happen is this actually fits on top with the notches at the back going underneath this spoiler. So you might just have to pull it apart a little bit just so you can get this in. just to give a little bit of a gap in there, just so you can hook this onto this middle section here. And I'm holding that in with AJM screws. So I'm going to just put one in that side first. And what I'm actually doing when I'm putting this in is I'm sort of pushing down on this one here just to make sure that it's lined up at the back, which this one is, which means I can get this second one in. Just have a look how that looks. That looks good. And I'm going to put the last 2 screws in here. That looks really good. Okay, and the only other thing left to do is we've got this little part here, which is the front camera. I'm going to be putting this just into the holes just on the side here, and they're only pushed in with lugs, so make sure that's in all the way. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. I really enjoyed that, looking like that there. And as I said, I do have the other packs here. Let me just show you some of the things that we are getting in the other packs. We've got some of the wheels there, looking like that. No idea, looking like that. And then finally, this looking like that there. But I'll do that on my return. Once again, be sure to tune in on Wednesday night on the Agora Models YouTube channel to see the first episode of the 1-to-1 channel. Other than that, Saturday will be my WonderFest video. I'll be returning next week. I hope you have a really good week. Take care.